At its peak, Ephesus housed 250,000 people. It was the second largest city in the Mediterranean world, subordinate only to Rome. This chart shows how that scale evolved. In the Hellenistic era, the population hovered around 50,000, but under Roman rule, that number swells to 250,000 residents, placing it in the same weight class as ancient Alexandria. Most visitors arrive expecting to see a distinctly Greek city. This was the birthplace of the philosopher Heraclitus and the site of the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet the ruins standing today are overwhelmingly Roman imperial construction. The towering facades, the public baths, and the library define a city built by the Caesars, not the Greeks. The Ephesus we study today is a Roman megacity running on an underlying Hellenistic operating system. To read these ruins accurately, we must separate the two eras and weigh the foundational Greek roots against the Roman expansion. We can evaluate this transformation through 3 categories, starting with urban planning and infrastructure. In the 3rd century BCE, the Hellenistic king Lysimachus realized the original settlement was sinking into malarial swamps. To save the port, he forced the entire population to relocate to a nearby valley. This relocation created a highly organized grid plan protected by massive stone defensive walls. This solved the immediate geographical threats, but it required citizens to abandon their ancestral homes for a rigid, top-down blueprint. Centuries later, Roman emperors like Augustus and Hadrian arrived. They kept the Greek grid, but injected massive imperial funding into public works. Rome produced colossal luxury infrastructure, including multi-story heated villas, elaborate aqueducts, and this great theater, expanded to seat 24,000 people. Maintaining this urban luxury required an unrelenting supply of capital, mostly spent dredging the harbor to prevent silting from killing the city's trade. The Roman building boom succeeded because it was grafted onto the organized, defensible foundation the Greeks had already laid down. Category 2 is governance and the economy. During the Hellenistic period, Ephesus was integrated into a series of Greek kingdoms, starting with the arrival of Alexander the Great. The city operated as an autonomous commercial hub, where the Temple of Artemis served as the Mediterranean's primary bank, managing deposits and loans for trade. This system generated wealth and cultural independence, but it left the city vulnerable to the constant warfare between rival Greek kings. That volatility ended when Rome annexed the region and designated Ephesus as the official capital of the province of Asia. Roman proconsuls established a bureaucratic apparatus that secured trade routes through the military stability of the Pax Romana. The city gained elite wealth and military security, but it lost its independence. The local Greek assembly was now strictly subordinated to Roman law. Roman bureaucracy optimized the Greek trade hub into an imperial administrative center, meaning the Ephesians traded their local autonomy for security. Finally, we look at social and religious life. Hellenistic Ephesus was a cosmopolitan Greek society built around a single entity, the cult of the Ephesian Artemis. Month-long spring festivals dedicated to the goddess tripled the city's population, fostering a culture of philosophy, athletic games, and the gymnasia. This created a unified civic identity, but one strictly bound to a single pagan cult. Under Roman rule, the religious landscape fractured. The empire introduced the imperial emperor cult and established a more rigid social hierarchy. The population grew, populated by Roman citizens, working freedmen, and a massive enslaved workforce. Becoming a cosmopolitan melting pot generated severe friction. The diversity led to clashes between the established Artemis economy and the arrival of early Christian teachings. Roman imperial diversity replaced the Greek religious monopoly, turning Ephesus into a volatile battleground of competing ideologies. You cannot understand Ephesus by choosing one era over the other. The two are codependent. The easiest way to map the site is to think of the Hellenistic era as the software and the Roman imperial era as the hardware. The Hellenistic software provided the locational logic, the street grid, the foundational culture, and the religious draw. The Roman hardware provided the wealth, the bureaucracy, and the monumental architecture needed to support 250,000 people. When walking the ruins today, remember your eyes are looking at Roman hardware, the baths, the mosaics, and the elite luxury of the empire. But to understand why the city succeeded, look past those monuments to the culturally unified Hellenistic software that made them possible. The Romans didn't build Ephesus from scratch. They capitalized on a thriving Greek port and